Hello everyone, my name is Shadab and today we are going to discuss an important but controversial reform in Indian higher education system, the UGC Promotion of Equity Regulations 2026. Supporters say it may make campuses more fairer and inclusive, whereas the critics opine that it may weaken academic freedom and increase bureaucracy. So what exactly are these rules? Why are they brought now? And what are the controversies surrounding it? Let us understand this in a simpler and balanced way. In 2026, the University Grants Commission introduced new rules to promote equality and prevent discrimination in colleges and universities. The main provisions of these rules are: first, every institution must set up an Equal Opportunity Center or the EOC. This will be the main body to handle discrimination complaints. Second, under every EOC, there will be an equity committee which will include teachers, students, staff, and other civil society members. Third, an independent ombudsperson will look into the appeals if the students are not satisfied with internal decisions. Fourth, the discrimination definition has now been expanded. It now includes indirect and direct discrimination based on caste, religion, place of birth, disabilities, and more. And fifth, every institution is required to submit regular reports to the UGC, non compliance of which can lead to penalties and even loss of recognition. So, these regulations basically create a structured grievance and monitoring system inside every university. So, why were these rules brought now? Over the past decade, India has witnessed several cases of alleged caste discrimination, social exclusion, and student suicide in higher educational institutions. Many students from SC, ST, OBC, and minority backgrounds complained of bias in evaluation, supervision, and campus life. Existing grievance mechanisms were often weak, slow, or controlled by the same authorities being complained against. The court's observation in Abida Salim Tadvi versus Union of India put pressure on the University Grants Commission to strengthen their existing framework. At the same time, the government is pushing for inclusive development and social justice in education. So, these regulations are an attempt to institutionalize equality and accountability in campuses. So, what is the controversy? The biggest controversy lies in the design of the system. The definition of discrimination is very broad and vague. Terms like unfair treatment and indirect bias are not clearly defined. Critics say this leaves too much room for subjective interpretation. Secondly, the Equity Committee must include SC, ST, OBC, women, and persons with disabilities. But it has no explicit provisions for general category representations. Many argue that this creates a perception of imbalance and exclusion. Thirdly, the civil society members who are not part of the institution are given decision making role. This raises concerns about external influence. And finally, the ombudsperson's decisions are final and binding. It limits institutional discretion. So, what do the supporters of these regulations say? They strongly defend these regulations. They argue that Indian campuses are not socially neutral spaces. Students from marginalized backgrounds still face invisible barrier, subtle bias, and institutional neglect. For the supporters, these regulations provide a safe grievance mechanism, independent appeal authority, protection against retaliation, and accountability of the authorities. Supporters say that without strong rules, social justice remains only on paper. They see this as a step towards democratizing higher education. What do the opponents say? Opponents remain unconvinced. They argue that vague definitions can encourage frivolous complaints. Academic disagreements may be turned into social justice disputes. The absence of a general category member in the equity committee may weaken trust in the committee's neutrality. They also worry about the possibility of a complaint driven administration replacing merit based governance. So, what is the way forward? It's true. These regulations arise from genuine social problems. They aim to protect the vulnerable students and improve accountability. But social justice mechanisms must ensure fairness for everyone. Clear definitions, balanced representation, and strong safeguards against misuse are essential. Without them, even good intentions may produce bad outcomes. India needs campuses that are both inclusive and intellectually free. In the end, equity and excellence should not be opposites, they should go together. Only then can higher education serve its real purpose. Thank you for watching.